More darkness for Adu-Boahene as lawyer Atta Akyea wobbles in court. Kwabena Adu-Boahene was the boss of the National Signals Bureau. And according to investigators of the state, he abused his office and stole so much money from the people of this country. He stole more than 7 million American dollars, having swapped 2 accounts to his benefit. And he blew the money in so many different ways, allegedly. He had a whole estate business, real estate business, and he spent a lot of the money on his girlfriend and some other such people in the periphery. He abused his office, gave contracts out arbitrarily with no recourse to any parliament nor the PPA rules. Kwabena Adu-Boahene, he's standing trial right now. My brother, my sister, we showed you a CCTV video of how money was allegedly carried out of his house the day he was arrested at the airport when he was returning from the UK, having tried to dodge authorities. This is Kwabena Adu-Boahene, a psycho, a man who loves money, and he would not take his time to make genuine money. According to investigators, he is a psycho, a thief. He was put into that office by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He allegedly helped Nana Addo alongside one Anoche, who became the boss of the NCA at a time. Together, they helped rig the elections for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So he had a lot of trust in this guy. And therefore, he elevated him to the highest position of the national security. At a point, he was more powerful than the national security boss himself, even though the National Signals Bureau was supposed to be under the national security. He had some members of the judiciary in his palms. He could kidnap anybody at will, tap anybody's conversation at any time. In fact, he was stronging this country into lawlessness, abusing his office. Kwabena Adu-Boahene, he's standing trial after investigators have done a very good job. The office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, my brother, my sister, is doing everything possible to have this crook put away for good. And this is Dr. Dominic Atta Akyea, the Zwarungu boy. This week, Adu-Boahene and his lawyer were in court. His lawyer is Atta Akyea. Atta Akyea is a well-known lawyer in Ghana. He's an NPP MP. In fact, he even worked in the office of the Attorney General some time gone by. So he knows the laws in this country quite well. He went to court to defend his client, the alleged crook, Kwabena Adu-Boahene, and in court, he seemed to be wobbling. He seemed to lack ideas. He seemed to be shaking like a yellow leaf ready to fall. My brother, my sister, what happened in court? Now the finance director of the NSB, National Signals Bureau, the lady by name Edith Ruby Opokuwa Edumwa, this lady here, my brother, my sister, decided to be a prosecution witness. When investigators realized that so much money was carried for Adu-Boahene using this lady, they decided to talk to her And she confessed to investigators that yes, Adu-Boahene several times asked her to carry money in Ghana must go bags. She also went ahead to say, in fact, the other account that he created, nothing like that ever benefited the nation called Ghana. It means that money purposely helped Adu-Boahene and whoever he wanted to use the money for. Can I say that again? Now, there was an account called BNC, Bureau of National Communications. That was the official account of the national security. But when Adu-Boahene came into that office, the National Signals Bureau, and became the boss, investigators say he had a way of cloning that account, making it a twin, and diverted 7 million American dollars from the mother account into this cloned account because he's an IT expert. And for that matter, he stole from the people of Ghana. Investigators traced every penny he spent from that account, and not a penny went in the name of Ghana. Everything went to himself and his personal businesses. So investigators are seeking to have the state make him cough out every little penny he allegedly stole from the state. His several buildings, Mayfair estates, the several cars that he bought, a lot of them stolen cars, we are told, and the money he spent on his girlfriend, Rashida Sani, Alhaji's wife, and many other people. In fact, everything came out in court. How much he wired to Rashida Sani. They were in court earlier in the week, and Atta Akyea decided to cross-examine Edith Ruby Opokuwa Edumwa. She is the head of finance at the National Signals Bureau, and she worked under Adu-Boahene. And this lady knew almost every trick of Adu-Boahene. When he was arrested and her eyes were opened, she realized that she was working under a mafia boss, a crook. She decided to join hands with the prosecutors as a prosecution witness. And in court, Atta Akyea approached her and asked so many different questions. Is it okay? Is it legal for money to be carried in Ghana must go bags? How big were the bags? How small were the bags? And the woman answered, in fact, depending on the denomination, the bag could be big or small. But we all know what Ghana must go bags are. Atta Akyea wanted to know how big the bags were and how small the bags were. My brother, my sister, then Atta Akyea went ahead to ask the woman, tell us now, and the court needs to know. And he started dilly-dallying, asking questions left, right, and center. Was the money legal? The money that was sent out, was it this? Until the judge got fed up and asked Adu-Boahene's lawyer, Atta Akyea, where are you going to with your line of questioning? In other words, I don't see where you are going to with your line of questioning. Where are you going with this? My brother, my sister, it was clear that Atta Akyea was beating about the bush. And as his client looked around and saw that darkness had befallen him, the judge himself was beginning to get impatient with the way Atta Akyea was going left, right, and center, cross-examining and keeping the whole courtroom bored, till the judge himself asked, counsel, I don't really know where you are going with this. Can you let us know where you are going with this? But this is where the secret is. Come here. My brother, my sister, Edith Ruby knows so much about Adu-Boahene. She is under oath not to reveal some of the things which border national security. Adu-Boahene himself is under oath. He's still an official employee of the National Signals Bureau under the National Security. And it is intentional so that he will not be able to reveal very deep national security issues to turn this country into total disarray. And the way Atta Akyea is going on with his questioning, it looks like he wants to tease the woman, Edith Ruby Opokuwa Dumwa, to come out with very serious national security issues. But this week's court was quite interesting. It was clear that Adu-Boahene is now trying to buy time, maybe hoping that the case will drag for a very long time towards election time, and by that time they might be in power. And if they come into power, as it is always done, new king, new law, so that all those people can be freed. But as it stands right now, it looks like the judge is more than just interested in finishing this case as early as possible so that other cases can be latched onto. More darkness for Adu-Boahene as lawyer Atta Akyea wobbles in court. Long and short of it all, the judge sitting on the case almost fell asleep as Atta Akyea was going on and on and on with an issue that didn't have a head, neither did it have a tail. My brother, my sister, and what was the question he was asking the lady? Come here. He kept asking, are you sure you are not a suspect? You were a suspect when Iyoko picked you up. And because you cut a plea deal with Iyoko, they have decided to take you out of the list of suspects and make you a prosecution witness. Atta Akyea kept asking this question over and over, over and over. You are a suspect. In fact, you were actually a suspect. Didn't Iyoko tell you that you are a suspect? And Edith Ruby Opokuwa Dumwa said, no, they never told me I was a suspect. They only came over to me and asked me how much I knew about Adu-Boahene's fake cloned BNC account. And I said, well, I knew that there was an account like that. But he said it was legal. Anytime he sent me out, I went and brought money to him. But I didn't see where the money went. Nothing came into NSB for our services. Nothing at all. He spent the money alone. I am the finance director. If you ask me to go and bring money, I would like to see how the money is spent. But every time he asked me to go bring money, I carried a lot of money in Ghana must go bags. And in these bags, he always smiled. Sometimes he made me even carry money to some other people. But he was never able to prove, not in any of our documents at National Security Ghana and beyond, not even National Signals Bureau. So the money was spent on his person and all his selfish projects. But Atta Akyea kept asking, but the way they wrote to you, it looked like you were a suspect. The tone of Iyoko makes you a suspect. It's just that they took you off so that you could come support them to win a case. And the judge became fed up. Why do you keep repeating this over and over? Where do you really want to get with this? Whether she was a suspect or not, we have seen cases where people have become suspects. Yes, they were suspects, and right after that, They cut a certain deal with prosecutors and they decided to make them what? Prosecution witnesses. It has happened in this country over and over, and it's absolutely legal. As to where Atta Akyea wanted to go with this, not even the judge sitting on the case understood it. And the case has been adjourned. It looks like Adu-Boahene is smelling a lot of darkness around him. While some propaganda sites are beginning to put some false hopes into him. As it stands right now, Ghana would also win. We are waiting to see where this case will go. And at the end of it all, I am sure we will all applaud the wonderful investigation that went on. Because this guy is a psycho. He's an IT expert. And the way he tried to hide the stolen money, but investigators were able to sniff him out. The way he tried to dodge arrest and investigations caught him. My brother, my sister, is worth applauding. But the applause will come after Adu-Boahene is probably put away for all the terrible things he did to this country with no respect for decency. And all these accomplices, all those who took money from him in one way or the other, who are now busily going around doing propaganda for Adu-Boahene. My brother, my sister, the court is clear. Atta Akyea, we don't know where you are going with this line of questioning. Can you tell us? And the court was adjourned. It's the Blakk Port, aka Kukushonomo. May Ghana win. When we return, we got more